Now that we know how to write these equations, we're going to set up our systems of equations and solve them. When we're doing this, the first thing that we need to do is state what our variables represent. So if we have quarters and dimes, we need to say Q for quarters and D for dimes. Then we're going to write our systems of equations. We're going to write the equations for each part of our problem. We're going to show work that's involved to solve those problems, and then we're going to label what our answers are. I have 6 coins in my hand that are either nickels or dimes. So those are our options. I'm going to use N for nickels. N equals the number of nickels. And I'm going to use D for dimes. You could use any letters that you want to, but I'm picking the ones that are going to make it most obvious what I'm solving for. The coins are worth a total of 40 cents. How many nickels and dimes do I have? So remember, we have 6 total coins. So the number of nickels plus the number of dimes should come out to be 6. And the coins are worth a total of 40 cents. A nickel is worth 5 cents, so we're going to put 0.05 in plus 0.10 D for dimes. And when we put those together, they should come out to be 40 cents. Now that we have our 2 equations, we're going to either use substitution or elimination, whichever one we want, whichever one makes the problem seem easier, and solve for each of our variables in this problem. I'm going to use substitution because in this first equation, I already have variables that have a coefficient of 1. Since they both have a coefficient of 1, it doesn't matter which one we solve for. I'm just going to go with N. So if I solve for N, that would mean I'm subtracting D. So then we have N equals 6 minus D. And then we're going to substitute that in for the other N in the other equation. So when we substitute that in, we have 0.05 times N, which is 6 minus D, plus 0.10 D equal to 0.40. And now the only variable that we have is D, so first we're going to be solving for the number of dimes, then we'll plug that back in to find the number of nickels. So first we need to distribute this 0.05 into our parentheses. When we distribute, we get 0.3 minus 0.05D plus 0.10D equals 0.40. Now I'm going to do 2 things at once. I'm going to combine like terms, combine the terms that have D, and I'm going to subtract that 0.3. So negative 0.05D plus 0.10D is 0.05D. And I'm subtracting this 0.3, so 0.4 minus 0.3 is 0.1. And then we would divide by 0.05, which is 2. So that means the number of dimes that we have is 2. Now we just need to find the number of nickels. To do that, I'm going to evaluate this equation using 2 for D. So N equals 6 minus 2. That means there are 4 nickels in my pocket. Let's look at one more word problem. Bob and Jim attended college together. Combined, they have a total of 7 Tuesday classes. Jim has 3 more than Bob. How many classes does Bob have? And Jim. So I'm going to use B for Bob and J for Jim. And we need to write our equations first. So combined, they have a total of 7 Tuesday classes. So Jim plus Bob should get us to 7 classes. But Jim has 3 more than Bob. So we have Bob plus 3 gets us to Jim. Now in this one, it's going to be really easy to do substitution because we already have J by itself and then everything else on the other side. So I'm going to substitute that in for the J in the first equation. So then we have B plus 3 plus B equal to 7. Combining like terms and moving the 3 over all at once, I have 2B equals 4. So then Bob has 2 Tuesday classes. And then if I were to evaluate that into this second equation, J equals B plus 3. I know B is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. That means Jim has 5 Tuesday classes.